And Erin is here with us now. So, Erin, we heard the former district attorney in the piece say Durst's mumbling are hearsay. He noted that they are admissible in court, though. You're a lawyer as well as a journalist.
Well, and a judge will have to make that decision ultimately.
Right.
I mean,
he's obviously reflecting what the district attorney will probably argue. But yes, there are exceptions to the hearsay rule. I think people hear hearsay, it won't get in. But there are exceptions, and one of them is admissions against self-interest. And that's what this would appear to be.
Admissions against self-interest.
Right, because it looks like a confession. But let me point out, I am not convinced that he actually says what has always been told, that killed them all. When I went back and looked at, we'll say, a search warrant
that was issued in Houston, one of the cops said,
it's either kill or killed. Now think of the difference if it's present tense. Because if someone says something to you that really makes you mad, you go in the bathroom, you go, I could kill them all.
Right.
I mean, I'm not sure this will get in
Or
simply because we're not sure what he said, what he meant.
Yeah. Or if you go in the bathroom and you go, you know, they're asking me all these questions that I kill her. Of course I did. Of course I did. Right. Like sarcastically.
Well, and that's what his defense attorneys will absolutely say. But maybe I just don't personally, from covering so many trials, don't think it would be fair. To me, it's just so explosive. It would, to me, let's look at the evidence that puts him there. He was in California. There's no proof that he was in L.A. There is a 9mm shell casing. They've never been able to match it to the gun. We know about the cadaver letter that the killer supposedly sent because the police received it. It was postmarked before the body was found. Let's look at that. Does that match his handwriting? But it bothers me that this documentary that we don't know all about it, how they found it. Remember they said they found it 2 years later. That would trouble me if that gets in the courtroom.
So then what I'm getting from you is it seems like you think this might be a challenging case for the prosecution.
I definitely think, and certainly the defense is pushing. I don't think they would be going if they didn't feel they had a chance to win this. And you know what's going to happen. Nobody will say, oh, he's innocent. They'll say he got off again.
And speaking of the jinx, the popularity of that documentary, does that somehow mean that he might not be able to get a fair trial? Everybody knows about it.
Well, you think that. This really surprised me. So that's what I asked the attorneys. And Dick DeGuerin said, you might think a lot of people saw it, but we actually did research.
Just
and
left coast
a small percentage of people actually saw it.
I mean, I guess that could
and
be
a small percentage of people know who Robert Durst is. And yes, we think we can get a jury of people who've never heard of Robert Durst. I know.
Jeez.
So, well, but we're news people.
We're news people,
you're right. We're in a bit of a bubble.
We live in New York City.
Yeah.
I mean, you live in Philadelphia. But yes, we are on the East Coast, and I think people on the West Coast. But perhaps there are people who don't really care about it.
Well, remember, Durst is a big name in New York City. Maybe nowhere else. It's a huge real estate name here.
All right, Erin Moriarty, thank you so much. We're so looking forward to this week's 48 Hours.
And we have a double header, actually, airing tomorrow night. First at 8 Eastern, you can watch Erin's report, Wrongful Conviction. Right after that, you can catch her full report on Robert Durst called Murder 90210. That's all at 10, 9 Central, right here on CBS.